Hello my fellow Christian fiction lovers, welcome to another video. Welcome to my dorm room. For those of you who are subscribers or who watch a lot of my videos, you would know that I guess not recently, but I've started college. I am a freshman this year, and this is the first video that I will be filming in my dorm room, which is exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time because I am paranoid that everybody on the hall can hear me. And I'm like speaking kind of quietly, so I probably will have to turn the video up, like the volume up when I edit it. A quick update for those of you who want it. If you don't, if you just want to skip to the review, completely understand. But I know the last video I uploaded was my the books I'm taking to college haul, and I totally anticipated uploading that video the first weekend that I was here at college, but I underestimated how busy that first weekend was going to be, so I didn't upload it when I wanted to. But at least it's out. I think I uploaded it a week ago from when this video is, fingers crossed, going to come out. Yeah, I knew college was going to be busy, but it's so much busier than I thought it was going to be, and I'm only a freshman. But yeah, also I don't have a roommate, which I might do a story time on. It wasn't planned, like I was actually supposed to have 2 roommates, but then they only gave me 1, but then I didn't end up getting 1. So let me know if you want to hear about that. It's kind of a crazy story, but I am really enjoying living by myself. So we have those life updates out of the way. Let's get into the actual review now, what you're really here for. And that is a full review on The Nature of Small Birds by Susie Finkbeiner. This is a book that, from the moment I heard about it, I wanted to read it. Like, I knew it was going to be a good book, and I was right. It was a 5-star read. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, and I it's been a minute since I've read it, but I still remember it so clearly, and I want to talk about it so badly because it really impacted me. And you guys know that I love books that impact me and make me think, so we're talking about it, obviously. So the plot of this book is unlike any other plot that I have read before because there's not really a plot. I mean, there is and there isn't. So we follow 3 characters. We follow Bruce, and they're all in the same family. So we follow Bruce, who is the husband and father in the family in the year 2013. So he's older. All 3 of his daughters are grown up, and we kind of are dealing with, or not dealing with, but through his narrative, we are reading about his and his wife's one adopted daughter as she kind of is learning more about her birth family back in Vietnam. And we also are reading about his mother, who is declining, and she ends up in a nursing home. So those are the 2 things that he's I guess dealing with in 2013. And then in 1975, we're following Linda, who is the wife and mother of the family, and this is she has her one daughter, Sunny, who's 5 years old, and this is the time when she and Bruce adopt their second daughter, Mindy. And so we kind of get to read her perspective on adopting their first adopted child, but also being a mom of 2 toddlers, if that makes sense. So just reading her experiencing all of that. And then the 3rd person we follow is Sunny in 1988 during her senior year of high school, just being a sister to her adopted sister Mindy, and also her mom is expecting again, for the first time since she'd been expecting Sunny, because I think they had infertility issues or something like that. But basically she had Sunny, and 5 years later they adopted Mindy, who was 4, and then 17 years later she got pregnant again. Linda, sorry, let me clarify. But anyway, so we're following those 3 different timelines within the same family but different people, and it was so fascinating to get this I guess big picture view of a family through not their entire lives, obviously, but like throughout their different family and key events that happen within that family. And I'm really sorry my AC just kicked on. I don't know how to work it, so I can't turn it off. But anyway, it's like getting these different snapshots in the different times throughout the family's life from the different people, and each narrative, like the way Bruce's narrative was written, Linda's, and then Sunny's, were all so different and captured the essence of their characters so completely. Honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest, at first I didn't like Sunny's, like how she was written, because she definitely like used teenager language. I mean, she was, in the book, she's like a senior in high school, and she definitely like spoke like it, the thoughts recorded, like all of that was definitely very much a teenager in high school. And I was kind of annoyed with it at first because like at first I thought it was overdone, but then like I took a step back and I was really thinking, like, I was just a senior in high school, like I just graduated high school, and thinking about like the way I think and the way I interact with my friends and even adults. And while like her time was set in the 80s and like I'm in 2022, so it's different in that way. It isn't, because like every teenager has that lingo that they use. And maybe that might not make sense, but it made sense to me once I like actually sat down and thought about it, and I was like, honestly, it made me relate to her so much more, because I was like, oh, this is how I interact with my friends like all the time. That was a ramble, and I don't know if it made sense. We'll see if it makes the final cut. But that is kind of the plot. The characters, I guess I've kind of already gone over them. The character development was so interesting to read, because you wouldn't think, like the way I explained the book, you wouldn't think that there would be much character development, but in actuality, the way you're jumping these times, like 2013, 1975, and 1988, and you get to read the different characters, and even like the supporting characters of like Mindy and Bruce's mother, and those people, you just read how they change as they're growing up in the family, and like just the family grows together, and it's so powerful. And it honestly like makes me think about my own family, and like how different, even just like my relationship with my sister, so different than it was like 4 years ago. And you really get to see that with the two sisters in this book, like Mindy and Sunny, seeing how they were when they were toddlers, and then when they were teenagers, and then as adults, like with their own families, seeing like how they interacted with each other, whether it was from their perspective or not. I mean, they're still in the book and part of the family, so you get to see them. I loved it. It was so like powerful reading about this family, and I did not want this book to end. Like, I just want to keep reading about this little family, and I don't even remember where they lived, but I just want to keep reading about them because they were so lovable. And the way that like the parents just loved their kids, it was just like, it's truly a story of like of what a family should be, and how a family like steps up and supports one another, and a true like biblical model of a family, if that makes sense. I don't want you to think that this book is completely plotless. It's not. There are things that are happening that tie the story together. Like there are events and moments referenced like in 2013 that you then get to read about in the past. So like it does all tie itself up into this perfect little bow that is also open-ended. Like, it's not, and they all lived happily ever after at the end. It's definitely a book left open to knowing that the story has to keep going. And you guys know that I love books like that. I love getting to fill in my own ending. And like, even though I want to keep reading all about like the way that Susie Finkbeiner writes this family, I want to keep reading it. Obviously it doesn't exist, but I'd love to. But I also get to fill it in my own mind, and that is just, that's a perfect book for me. You guys know I love it. So those are all of my thoughts, well, almost all my thoughts on the nature of small birds. Also, the title is exquisite. You really have to read the book to understand it. But anyway, that is my review of The Nature of Small Birds. This is a Christian fiction book. Like, definitely the family talks about God and is very Christ-focused and Christ-centered. So definitely falls under the Christian fiction category. I think I said like they're a picture of a good model of a biblical family. So anyway, but let me know if you have read The Nature of Small Birds. I would love to chat about it in the comments. Like, I still think about it. Like, I can't get it out of my head, and it's been like 2 weeks since I finished it. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thanks for letting me adjust as I'm getting into college. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye!